Shalom everybody and welcome to the weekly Hebrew Torah snippet. This week's portion is called Emor, starts in Leviticus chapter 21 and goes through the end of chapter 24. Okay, so we're going to read this little section here, starting in verse 10. So now we have the mouse available, you can follow along and see where I'm at, okay? So, Vayetze ben Isha Yisraelit, Vehu ben Ish Mitzri, Betoch b'nei Yisrael, Vayinatzu b'machane ben hayisraelit ve'ish hayisraeli. Vayikov ben haisha hayisraelit et Hashem, Vayikalel, Vayaviu oto el Moshe, v'shem imo Shlomit, bat Divri, lemate Dan. Vayanichuhu b'mishmar, lifrosh lahem על פי אדוני. וידבר אדוני אל משה לאמור, הוצא את המקלל אל מחוץ למחנה, וסמכו כל השומעים את ידיהם על ראשו, ורגמו אותו כל העדה. Okay, so the part that I wanted to kind of talk about starts right here. Okay, Vayikov. Okay, so this word is usually translated as to hollow out something or to pierce something. Okay, in this passage, it seems to mean like blaspheme, but it's interesting because the word is also used like at least 3 other times in the whole Tanakh, and in those places it's used to mean like to name. Okay, like to say a name or to name someone or something. Okay, so it's kind of interesting that it has those 2 meanings. And I'm not really sure how they're related, right? I can see how, like, if it means hollow something out, and that seems to be, like, the main meaning of it, and how that could then be used to mean blaspheme, because ultimately if you blaspheme someone, you blaspheme God, you blaspheme His name, in one sense you're hollowing out His name, right? Saying that He doesn't live up to the things that He should or whatever, okay? So you can see how hollowing out and blaspheme would be from that same root. If you're familiar with the word Yekev, Yekev is a winery. So that would be kind of what they did back in biblical times. They would hollow out, right, make caves or whatever to store the wine in while it fermented. So it was actually something that they had to hollow out. So it was called Yekev. Okay. So Vayikov ben Haisha Yisraelit. So that means, and then blasphemed or named, right, the son of the Israelite woman, at Hashem. So he blasphemed or named the name. Vayikalel, right? So after that, here, Vayikalel, and this means, and he cursed. Okay. So both of these words could mean like curse. Vayikov, this one here, is used in the story of Balak and Bilam, when he was trying to get him to curse Israel. This is the word that he uses to say curse Israel. Okay. And then Yekalel, this one here, is probably the more common one that is used for cursing. And just to kind of get an idea with this one as well, like the root structure here, it comes from the base root of kal, which means light or easy. So in one sense, it could be like to make light of someone. There is one passage in the Torah where it talks about cursing your father or mother. In the King James Version, I think it says to set light by his father or mother. So basically to make light of your father or mother, not to give them the honor or the respect that they're due. So to curse or to make light of, in that sense. So the possible translation here would even be that he pronounced the name and then he cursed. Okay? Because as you read further on in the passage, it actually uses the 2 words separately, saying that if you curse God, you will bear your sin. And then right after that says, but if you yikov, so using this word, then you'll be put to death. So it's almost like it could be saying, cursing God is one thing, you'll bear your sin. But if you pronounce the name when you're cursing, then you will be put to death. So there's possible that there's even a differentiation there with that. So that's kind of the little nugget that I had to share this week, just kind of looking at those words and seeing a little bit more of like what the base is and where it comes from. It's amazing in Hebrew when you look at the different roots and stuff. There's always like a physical, tangible meaning of that word, and then it's used in the more abstract things as well, so that you can always kind of look at the tangible, physical thing to get a better understanding of what that abstract thought is. In English, we have a lot of abstract thoughts that don't have a connection to something physical, so it's harder to like really grasp or to have a good concept of what that is. But with Hebrew, I think it's amazing the depth you can get by just understanding, okay, so this is like the physical thing of what that is, and then we have that abstract thing of blaspheming, but it's connected to hollowing out, right? To emptying, making a name empty, right? So, all right, we'll see you next time.